Right, hello. Oh, hello. Oh, I'm Sean, Librarian Writer Geek on Twitch and YouTube, Blue as well as Blue Sky. Check the website; it's got links to this stuff plus a bunch of other things. And just before I really get into stuff, if you are watching this, thank you. I do mean it sincerely. I thank you thank you for watching this stuff, but also check out my other stuff as well. The other streams I put up on YouTube, because those don't get any kind of numbers, and it's not like I'm dependent on YouTube for this stuff, but it is kind of like I put the time and the energy into streaming these games too, and it'd be nice if those got a little more attention and love. But you know, that's all I ask. Anyway, wait. So I guess first thing I want to yeah, it's really crazy hot where I am. It's going to be incredibly hot this coming week, especially in East Coast US. So I guess the only thing I have to say there is if you are in any of those eastern states where it's going to be really hot, try to avoid, try to stay indoors. Definitely stay hydrated as much as possible. Don't work your try not to, if you have to be out and sweating and whatnot, stay hydrated as much as possible. If you don't, just don't. Okay, you don't do not put yourself in danger for whatever reason. Apparently, I just saw something a few minutes ago. So they're in DC. They've got this whole whatever fair thing going on. This really, really dumb attempt at this kind of, county fair type, what the heck am I? Yeah, type thing. Uh, yeah, the Freedom 250 or whatever. It's genuinely been mocked like mocked pretty relentlessly this whole week because it is like, yeah, nobody's coming to this, and the decorations look pretty shoddy, and it's just it's not exciting. It's not yeah, it's not doing great. But apparently today, some large good number of people had to receive some degree of medical attention. Some people had to actually be taken to the hospital and put on emergency life support or something, and probably due to the heat. And eventually, around like 5 o'clock, apparently they had to just shut the whole thing down because it was just too hot. So take care of yourselves. Don't in the U.S. Don't well everywhere also Europe, because apparently there's also been some issues in Europe as well because I get that they don't tend to build stuff with air conditioning, and well, welcome to the climate crisis. Welcome to the world of climate crisis. Sorry. But if you are, again, try to stay cool. If you're in the US, at least don't, set your, I know, like thermostats at like 78, because that maybe doesn't strain the power grid as much, because that's the real problem. Setting the temperature lower doesn't really isn't necessarily going to cool your house down anymore. It's just going to mean your AC is running longer, and that's just going to put more of a strain on things. So I know these are two contradictory things, but it's like, you can survive 78 Fahrenheit. You can survive that. That is survivable. You might be a little warm, but you'll be alive. Whereas, outside it's really getting into like pushing triple digits Fahrenheit, which is I don't know. Let me see, let me try and do the math. Like, what's 100? Like 30s, 40s Celsius, upper 30s Celsius, maybe up into probably not the 40s, but getting in there. So, you know, mostly, I guess I'm just saying, this weekend, especially if you're in the U.S., take care of yourselves, stay hydrated, don't try to stay cool. Well, don't spend if you must spend time outside, stay hydrated as much as you can, and wear sunscreen. I'm sorry, this is a bit of a tangent, but yeah, I have, speaking about kind of getting into my own health issues here, but I just like 2 weeks ago had to get some more uh stuff. I had to get some stuff removed because it was sort of pre-cancerous mass on my skin. It's the second time I've had to get some skin cancer treatment, and it's not fun. It's not. It's certainly not the worst thing that could ever happen. It's like it's not. This is all like outpatient stuff that you don't have to go into the hospital or anything. But it is like it's not something fun to deal with. So wear sunscreen, I guess, is the message. Okay. Anyway, hey, we're gonna be looking at more of the One Ring second edition from Free League, which is why I'm still wearing the hat. I like the hat. I think it looks really nice. Yeah. So let's get into that. Okay. Just gonna jump over here. And I'm gonna real quick get some music going. For those curious, this one and the last one are from Forest of Light on YouTube, I believe, and this one mix is Campfire with the Blue Wizards. So turn it up a little bit so I can really hear what's up. Sorry, I'm just gonna. All right. Okay, so that's good. Anyway, all right. So last time we covered, we've covered, how to make a character, what all that stuff. So now we're actually going to get into how to actually play the game beyond the simple basics. So, again, opening up with another one of these lovely 2-page spreads that Free League is so good with. This wonderful, beautiful art that Free League is so good at commissioning, at doing. And again, we are evoking the feel of Lord of the Rings, the visuals of you can draw similarity, you can sort of see Middle Earth, even though this is not necessarily Lord of the Rings, though. It is very decidedly not Lord of the Rings, but it's that same kind of visual. The visual is very something like you could, I don't know, maybe expect to see this. I don't, anyway. Because again, we've got the elf on the horse. We have a man with a sword, a hobbit with, a tiny little dagger. Or I guess, I'm curious how tall this guy is, because I feel like that hobbit is very tall. But what do I know? Anyway. And, troll, goblins, orcs, or whatever. Anyway. So. Yeah. So the game is generally broken up into two broad phases, actual gameplay. We have the adventuring phase and the fellowship phase. So, it's, here's how the sessions go for the adventuring session. And yeah, they're estimating about, hey, here's about 3 hours a game. So you play or so? Sure. You introduce, hey, here's what's going on, possibly including what time of year is it? Where are we? Set the scene for it. us, give us some useful information, etc., etc. As a good lore master GM should. Then, you have again, this is incredibly high up, broad view. Then you have actual scenes, the actual people doing stuff phase, and then we end the set, kind of wrap it up. It's, again, this is very broad strokes of how it works. So we're getting into a little more nuanced on this. So obviously, main thing is going to be, one of the main things is obviously combat. Crazy, right? Wow, a tabletop role-playing game with combat. Anyway, hey, advice: don't have all the battles start the same. Whatever. All right, so yeah, have a quick start combat. You get opening volleys, and then we have actual close quarter combat. So opening volleys is basically okay. This is the we've just spotted each other and we're moving to move. Maybe one group has spotted the other, or both groups have spotted each other, and we are attacking one another. Perhaps with those ranged weapons before things get really nasty. So you're probably gonna get up. Let's see. In most circumstances, all combatants are entitled to at least one volley using bow or thrown weapon. If two sides are separated by greater distance, you might allow more, but that's up. So yeah, and close quarters is this is the more standard combat where the swords and other weapons come out, and that gets us into actual rounds of combat. Obviously, surprise attack. Sometimes, you determine, hey, are the enemies managing to surprise the hero? Well, roll awareness. That's if you don't, roll an awareness check. Test. If you test, those who fail don't get to act until we get to close quarters combat. Those who do, hey, you get to take off engage in the first volley round. Ambushing the enemies is kind of the opposite. Roll stealth. But yeah. And again, now breaking down actual close combat, we have the company. Choose it. Each player chooses their various so. Okay, this is something interesting, and because actually looking into reading up on this and understanding how this works. So this game. Sorry. Okay, so the game tends to... you don't really need a battle map for this. In fact, they generally don't use battle mats. Instead, they have this favor more of a theater of the mind type setup, though. Let me see. I believe... yeah. Okay. Is this showing up? Yes. Okay, good. So yeah, this is the combat diagram where you can kind of, so where it's, because, instead of rolling initiative, you decide your stance. stance. And so you can lay down something like this to get an idea of like, okay, who's in the rear, who's taking defensive stance, who's more open, and who's taking a forward stance. What is this? Here, enemies that are kind of staying in the back. Here's, a place to put the enemies that are engaging in combat, and so on. You get the idea. Yeah. So, close combat, get paired up with one or more opponents, and then we resolve actions. All right. So, So stances for close combat. There are the 3 stances. That's the forward, open, and defensive stances. Those are the melee combat ones. The rearward is where the ranged people have to be. Because, you can't it's kind of hard to be. It's kind of awkward to be up front with a bow. Yeah, because bows are not for melee combat. That's bad. And rearward only allows you to make range, is the only one that lets you make range attack, except opening volleys. You could obviously, players can choose any where they can start in any position. And if they want, if they're doing close combat, range combat, obviously has to pick the rearward one. Allowing more players to assume rear stance would normally be possible. Guys fighting in there. I do think there are some limits on how many people can be in a rearward stance. How many of your numbers can be on a rearward? Let me see. And each of these stances does different things. So forward stance gives you a bonus die to all your attack rolls, but it also attacks against you gain a bonus die. So the forward stances, you are intentional. You are going more all out, but you are also putting yourself more at risk. Open stance is just kind of flat. You don't get any kind of advantage. They don't get any kind of advantage. Forward stance also allows you to make the intimidate foe as a thing you can do, which obviously, hey, you are up front, you're taking the fight to them. Maybe you can try make an attempt to intimidate them. Obviously, open stance is kind of a neutral position. You can use this to kind of from this position. You can attempt to rally your allies if necessary. Defensive stance, you're fighting a little more. Protect yourself, hold your ground. Attacks against you are at -1 dice. But so all close combat attacks aimed at you lose 1 die. Your attack rolls lose 1 die for each opponent engaging you. So the downside of fighting defensively is, if you're overwhelmed, you're gonna get in trouble. But as mentioned, you can also protect your companion from this is the position you need to be in to protect a companion. Rearward stance again. You can attack with ranged weapons and only be targeted by anyone who is also ranged weapons, and you can take the sort of readiest shot to get some bonuses to a ranged attack. Okay, here we go. You cannot assume a rearward stance. Oh wait, you can only assume a rearward stance if the total number of enemies is not more than twice the number of adventurers in the company. So, each player in rearward stance must be 2. There has to be 2 others fighting in close combat. Okay, so if you have 4 people in your company, only one of you can be in a rearward stance, because otherwise, there's not enough people to keep in between you and or whoever's in the rear and the enemies, essentially. And if there's and each of your allies can only take on maybe 2 people at once, because otherwise there's too many enemies attacking and they can't keep track of them. Anyway, and here's I thought there was actually supposed to be some text noting that okay, here's forward word open and deep. I don't know, this may be defensive, I guess. This might be open. It's I'm not sure if this is supposed to be open or this is supposed to be open, but this is definitely rearward. Okay, term stance. Choose count, must engage one or more opponents. And that you do kind of need minis, or at least some kind of indicator to go okay, who's engaging with who? There's obviously how many enemies you have is going to play into it. Engaged combatants must remain as such until the opponent is defeated or until they leave combat. Yeah. So yeah, you kind of can't. There's no running around combat. You can't really run around the field and help out your buddies if someone is already is on you. Round sees more enemies than player heroes. Engagement is handled by lore master. Assigned opponents an unengaged player hero fighting the close combat stance. If there's more heroes than enemies or sides are equally matched. Engagement is chosen by player as follows. Player heroes in close combat choose an unengaged adversary. If one or more companies fighting in rearward, if possible, there will be enemies left with everyone fighting in close combat. Engaged adversary. If this happens, lore master choose whether spare enemies engaged in player hero or... Yeah, okay. We might see that. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Player heroes in when round sees company outnumbering its foes or matching them in number, engagement is chosen by the as follows. What? Oh gosh. Player heroes in close combat stance choose an unengaged adversary to face from among those introduced as eligible targets. If there aren't enough free enemies to engage, player heroes in close combat left without an adversary must engage an enemy already engaged by another player hero. Okay. If one or more companies fighting in rearward stance is possible, there will be enemies left for everyone fighting in close combat has engaged an adversary. If that choose whether spare enemies engage player hero already fighting in a close combat stance or stay back and attack with ranged weapons. Okay, yeah. Okay. And finally we get to actual resolving actions. Players always go first. They just all, because they're the heroes, they get to go first. Act all player heroes resolve actions in stance order with players. So yeah. So there is at least some amount of strategy to this. It goes forward, open, defensive, then rear. So you can decide. To act, players must choose a main action and a secondary action. So secondary action, main actions. Recover after knockback. Recover. Get your weapon. Make an attack, obviously. Carry an ally to safety. Move across the battlefield, etc. Secondary actions. Advance or retreat. Locate someone on the field. Draw a weapon. Move a helm or drop a shield. To reduce your load. That's useful because, again, you don't... because load impact has an effect if your load exceeds your endurance. I think that's what it was. Let me pull up the sheet. That is the wrong sheet. Yeah. Curt sheet, yeah. Yeah. Because, yeah, if your load exceeds your endurance, you become fatigued and bad things start happening. And it spirals out of control. Other actions, adversaries may perform main action and secondary action, just like players. Lord Master opt to have them simply just take a main action and speed up the gameplay. Yeah, probably, because, yeah. Resolve attack, yeah. It works. So, yeah. Roll based on it. So, obviously, attack roll is player heroes. They roll that. Players roll against their strength target, modified by the parry rating of the targeted enemy. I think. I don't know. Let me jump ahead. Let me jump ahead a second. Let's just jump ahead to an example, so we can get an idea. All right. So, like, right, we have this Southern Champion, the evil men enemy. So yeah, they have a pair. You know, their stat block is a lot simpler. Or, you know, they have a parry of +2. So, I'm assuming that. So I'd assume. You might add 2 to your target number. I think I'm assuming it might be add 2 to the target number, but I'm not 100%. And difficulty adversaries against player heroes equal to the target hero's parry score and set. So yeah, enemies attacking just have to beat the player's parry score, which, you know, again, parry is one of those. Yeah, down here. Here, I think that's based on your. That's usually based on your wit. Wits, yeah. Melee range attack roll succeeds. Target suffers immediate loss of endurance equal to the damage rating of the weapon. We've kind of seen the weapons, they all do a flat amount of damage unless they're. Well, they all do flat amount of damage. So that's subtracted from endurance. And knocked bad player heroes can have the endurance loss caused by a successful attack by choosing to be knocked back. They'll spend the next main action recovering their fighting position. So it's a mix. Adversaries cannot choose to be knocked back. Fair enough. If you roll success, get a success on the success die, which again, that means rolling a 6 on the D6s, special custom D6s for this rule system. You get to do some special options, like heavy blow, spend 1 success as to inflict additional endurance loss equal to your strength rating. And off, spend success as to modify parry rating for the round by +1. Using axes, brawling weapons are +2 with swords, or +3 using spears, if you have a spear. So, yeah. Spears are very good at keeping people at a distance and protecting you. Pierce if you're using bow, spears, or swords. It's not a success to modify feat die numeral by +1 with swords, 2 for bows, 3 for spears, possibly triggering a piercing blow. Piercing blow, which, hey, we'll get to piercing blows. You have a shield, strength greater than your target's attribute. Spend 1 success to push them back. Their adversary loses a die for the round. Okay. So yeah, you have options. There's quite a bit. There is some tactical things you can try out. Tactics to attempt should you feel so inclined. Piercing blow. Below attack roll that gets a piercing blow on a 10 or Gandalf. Result on the feat die. Piercing blow must immediately roll the feat die plus number of success dice equal to protection value of their armor worn. Target number for the roll is the injury rating for the weapon used by the attacker. Okay. If the roll fails, the target of the attack receives a life-threatening blow, a wound. Oh dear. So yeah, this is what the injury stuff means. So if you roll, again, okay, rolling your attack, you roll a 10. You get a 10 on the feat die. Or let me see, does this include... Okay, nope, nothing about that. Okay. Or wait. Why is exhaustion? We suddenly unexpectedly cut down by a vicious stroke, penetrates through protective equipment and draws blood, in addition to causing loss of endurance point. Piercing blow and attack. Roll piercing blow on a 10 or Gandalf. Characters hit by piercing blow roll the feat die plus success dice equal to their protection value of their armor. Okay, again, I'm gonna... Let's check this. Okay, so they do have armor. Alright. So if someone's fighting against a Southerner champion and gets a 10 on the feat die, okay, the Southerner champion rolls a feat die plus 3 success dice, and let's say they have a long sword and they're two-handing it. Okay, I need to roll an 18 or the guy suffers a wound. And how do wounds go? Yeah. Most adversaries are killed outright when wounded. Easy enough. Player heroes can take a wound once without any serious consequences. Okay. Player heroes who are wounded for the first time immediately check wounded on the sheet. Which is... Where is this? Is it on this sheet? Okay, wounded there. Oh no, weary. Miserable, weary, wounded. Okay. So I think right. If shadow exceeds hope, current hope, you become miserable. If load exceeds current endurance, you are weary. And wounded is just, you took a hit. There's wounded, the first See roll the wound severity table below using... Okay, yeah. And yeah, wounded severity. It could be something, it could just be a mild injury, it could be a severe injury. mild injury, which will, you know, end of combat, you'll recover fully in a matter of hours. So, like, yeah, you'll be all right. Right? Just take it easy. Eat for the rest of the day. Get some sleep. Severe injury. It could take a couple of days. Grievous injury. Okay, yeah, you're just out and dying. So, not great. Don't do that. Try to avoid that. Get over wounded by resting, etc. Other hero can attempt can reduce severity of an injury with a healing roll. Successful heal reduces severity by 1 day plus another for every success. Every bonus success. Mainly be administered successful first aid once. Failed healing roll cannot be repeated until at least a day has passed. Okay. Dying heroes. Dying hero. If you get healing within an hour, you have to get healed within an hour or you will die. Lovely. Roll succeed. They've been saved. They're back. They wake up in an hour at 1 endurance. Yikes. So, injury leaves a permanent mark. Yikes. So, yeah, I know I said this before, but yeah, combat in this game is serious. So, you know, be smart. You gotta be smart with it. Music and adjust. Remove complication or gain an advantage. Make a battle roll. Okay. And now we got those combat tasks that you can potentially. Okay. Right. Complications, advantages. Moderately or severely hindered. Gain a moderate or great advantage. It's moderate hindrance be things like standing on difficult terrain. A severe hindrance be you're knee deep in water, or it's dark. Moderate advantage. You have the high ground. Cool. Big advantage. The other person is knee deep in water or mud or what have you. That's for close combat stuff. So, you know, medium range, undercover, long range, very small. Advantage is targets moving slowly or is big, or stationary and very big. Yeah. Oh, yikes. If you're up against a dragon, I think we have bigger problems, if we're being honest, than whether or not you can hit the thing. So yeah, combat tasks. These are the other things you can do depending on your different stance. So, you know, intimidate foe, make an awe roll. On success, the morale has been shaken and all opponents with might 1 are made weary on the next turn. If you get a success, then it's all enemies with might 2. So, if you get 2 bonus successes, if you succeed and get 2 bonus successes, it applies to everybody. Cool. Rally combat. Rally combat's making a heart and roll. Success. S. Companies in the forward stance gain a die on attack rolls. Succeed. All fighting in open stance get the same bonus. If it produces 2, then okay, cool. So yeah, useful, helpful. Protect combat. Make a battle roll. You succeed. Next attack at protected hero loses a die plus. Is that -1 die, and those stack for every additional success. Prepared shot, you have to make a scan roll. If you succeed, you gain extra skill dice, success dice, whatever, on the attack. Yeah. All of this, where'd they go? Oh, it's like, yeah, so all comes down to either they're, okay, aside from intimidate foe, which depends on their stats, all of this is basically, okay, gain one or more success dice. The better you roll. Yeah. Ah. What is this? Here we go. Okay, example. Battle of Nul Bizarre. Yeah. Nain, son of Gror, faces Azog, the great orc of Moria. Nain is weary, for he's been fighting for long hours already while Azog just entered the fray. Driven by hatred and trying to compensate for weariness, Nain charges into the forward stance, attempting a great stroke with his mattock. But the monster is full of guile, using snake-like speed ability. He makes an attack roll ill-favored. Oh no! Azog darts aside, so the mattock hits the stone where he stood but an instant before. Now Nain has lost his balance. Azog swings his sword with horrible strength, hewing at his neck. Azog hits Nain with a heavy blow worth 12 points of damage and scores a piercing blow. Oh no. Yeah, just gonna point this out too. Running away is very much an option. So running away is okay. First you take a rearward stance, and when it comes to your turn, you say I flee. That's the easy way. The slightly more dangerous way is get to a defensive state. And it's make an attack roll. You can choose to not do any damage and instead run away. I mean, not a terrible thing to have. People, because especially, again, given just how lethal combat, how crazy dangerous combat can be in this game, and that healing takes time. There's not a lot of magical healing to go around. Yeah. Okay, now, and here we have another major part of gameplay, councils, which are, okay, this is where you talk to people, and this isn't just regularly talking to people, this is, you want to get, you want to get something out of it. Must be formal gathering during which stakes are high, and depending on the outcome, company stands to win or lose something valuable. Company must to achieve a number of success rolls equal to the matching their resistance value. And you only have so many attempts to do this. I know this definitely predates Draw Steel, but I think Draw Steel kind of has something similar. Though there's, I'm sure they pulled some inspiration from this. It would not surprise me if they did. So yeah. Set resistance. So general vibes of how to do this. You set the resistance. You have the introduction, and then we interact. So. Obviously set the resistance. Okay, what's this is where we decide things like, okay, what's the company asking for? Or what do they hope to get? How do they want to get it? What are they willing to give up or do in order to get that? This may reflects how hard it'll be for company to get the goal. Set the lore master value. at a value of 3. 3 is reasonable. Simple, easy request. Reasonable request is a 3. 6 is pretty bold. 9 is out there. Reasonable request is one where encountered folk don't lose anything by helping. A bold request is, profiting the benefits the company more than it does the people they're talking to. Outrageous is like, you're asking people to do something dangerous or risky or, with probably no chance of getting anything out of it themselves. So, okay, we have the introduction and interaction. So, right. The council company presents themselves. I'm sorry if I'm just reading the text on the screen. I actually have not read this whole book end to end. I tend to skim rule books like this, and if I ever do run them, I tend to either run, or at least initially, I tend to run like, run the quick start, or or the adventure from the starter set, the kind of thing that's intended as okay, here, we are going to teach you how to play this game. We are going to teach you the rules as we play, but through play, as opposed to doing it, as opposed to what I'm doing now, which is literally reading the book. So obviously introductions, of course, we have the introductions of all the parties. You're probably going to want to, Gandalf, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli going into Edoras. Introduce them. Someone takes the lead and decides on how they're going to approach one person speaks for the company. This will help set. How long do we have? If you want to impress them quickly and reveal quite a lot about yourself, maybe potentially revealing a lot about yourself. With awe convey powerful message using few words, used to impress someone and overturn a negative early reaction, or to quickly set the terms for the discussion. Downside is a spokesperson voluntarily mentions lineage, deeds, and personal information. Various members of the company for full effect. So yeah, this is. Hello, I'm so-and-so. Here, this is my name. This is my full legal name, my address, my social security. You're giving them a lot of information in the hopes that this will impress them. Courtesy is maybe a little more, slightly less, despite the name, it's maybe, if you're already kind of a good let's see. Particularly useful if the company or at least spokesperson is already on friendly terms with the opposing party. Non-friendly ears, courteous speaker might sound duplicitous. But, so courtesy to ask for support, especially from friends. Yeah, so courtesy is perhaps slightly less formal, even though, despite the name. And yeah, so which of these 3 skills basically amounts to how well do you know this other person, other group, and how much are you willing to reveal about yourself? I guess Also, Bilbo in The Hobbit meeting Smaug for the first time. Well, he doesn't want to tell Smaug anything, so we have his introduction is with Riddle. It's here. I'm going to craft questions and answers a way to extract information from others in exchange for very little. But, if you don't do it right, you're just going to make people distrust you. All right, main part is the interactions. This gonna take up the bulk of it. You're gonna make skill rolls to accumulate enough successes to match the resistance. Obviously, you choose. Players can obviously choose what they want. Skill rolls be modified by attitude. People. Reluctant. Lower side audience is reluctant, open or friendly. Reluctant imposes a penalty. They're probably not going to be too willing to help you. Open, whatever. It is what it is. Friendly, you get a bonus. You get the idea. Skills that might also be useful here. Enhearten, insight, persuade, obviously. Riddle again. Either to formally play the ancient riddle game, practice and respected even in the unlikeliest and wickedest of creatures, or gather information and news. Successful riddle roll can put together all sorts of tidbits. Okay. And song, sure, why not? And, as always, when it comes to this sort of thing, hey, if the players roleplay really well, maybe delivered speech touches topics relevant to the company's goal and to an important audience. Lore Master could either give them a straight, reward good role playing. Obviously, you could just also decide, okay, that just works, but for the sake of this, give them a bonus. And at the end, you could succeed, you could fail, or partially. All right, so yeah. Success, reach number of successes required to council's resistance. Failure or success with woe. Scores number of success gets successful rolls, but fails to beat the resistance rating within the time limit. And you either just fail or potentially opt to get what they want, but for a price. And disasters, you get no success. Fail all available rolls or score a number of success rolls, but fail to match resistance after a botched introduction. So yeah, now you've just basically made enemies. That's about as bad as it could go. So yeah, so we once again have a game that actually takes time. They put it forth in the time and energy to go, okay, to make mechanics to handle social interactions. Because D&D is not good with this. It's right, you might get this is, D&D does not handle this sort of thing. It's not designed to handle this sort of thing. When they try to add stuff, it's awkward, and it tends to just boil down to, make a single roll. Well, that's kind of boring. So here, we're going to do it in rounds, and you get multiple rolls and attempts to do stuff, and good role play gets rewarded, etc. Okay, where are we? Okay. maybe do this and probably maybe get into the fellowship phase as well. It's because we've been going for about an hour. All right. Okay. So again, we have One Ring. Again, we have those 3 pillars of play. We have combat, social interaction, and travel or exploration. Hey wow, this game actually came up with some decent rules, or at least some more rules, or potentially better rules than whatever D&D has. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, as I think anyone who has as anyone who's ever read Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, kind of will easily grasp. Traveling in Middle Earth at this point in time, it's pretty dangerous. There's not a lot of, especially in Eregion, where the bulk of this is set. There's not a lot of big. There are settlements, but they're pretty sparse. It is. Folks habiting have long sundered from each other to the point most people don't know precise where. Yeah. Okay, but obviously, going somewhere, you need to know more or less, have an idea of where you're going. Which, do I have? Let's see, this is 108, so, right. So, obviously, looking at this map, going okay, where are we? Where are we now? Where are we going? Getting a general sense of that. There's Austin Ithil. Okay. Anyway. Front player map presents geographical lore, experienced adventurers, deeper knowledge those possessed by the average denizen of Eriador. And there's obviously plenty of places not marked on the map, etc., etc. Eventually, but you decide on a path. The lore master will map it out on their own map, and figure some things out. There are assigned roles that everybody that can or should be taken by different members of the party. We have the guide who decides where you go, how are you going to get where you're going, when do we stop, handling when do we stop to eat, when do we stop to make camp. Hunter tries to find stuff, food. Lookout keeps an eye out for any dangers, and scout tries to figure out some shortcuts and or sets up camp. I'd have to cover all the roles. If there's more than 4, you can have people double up. Oh boy. Get out of here, dirty clanker. Damn bots. Alright, well, actually, we'll get into sorry. It's kind of getting ahead of myself with the picking on map and roll and whatnot. We can obviously double up if there's enough player character. Except for the guide, because we have to have one person. Only one person gets to makes a decision. Might have to, of course, alternatively, if there's only 3 people, then yeah, someone's gonna have to double up on some stuff. But I imagine, I think you could probably double up Hunter and Scout. Could probably handle both of those. But anyway, actual sequence of doing the journey: you decide a path, make various marching rolls. Things happen, and then eventually you get to the end of the journey. But things happen. Make marching rolls is kind of yada yada. End of thing. All right. So again, using the map, you plot out. Okay, here's where we're gonna go. Go more or less. Tracing journey path, players consider itinerary can rarely be drawn as the crow flies. Connecting starting point to destination in a straight line. You might want to think about not the lie of the land. Mountains and rivers can be traversed only across certain places. Lore master then looks at so the players will draw out their idea of the route they want to take. The lore master then goes to the back map at the back, figures out the company's itinerary, path traversing number of hexes equal to those required to reach destination. After players are encouraged to take prominent landmarks, traversing path. So yeah, an example. Okay, here's an example. Okay, year 2965, summer, heading from Weathertop to Fornost. Gonna hopefully only take about 7 days because they're deciding to go. Oh, all right. We have 2 people serving as lookout, etc. Okay, deciding. All right, instead of going all the way, taking the east road back to Bree, and then taking the greenway up to Fornost or whatever, they decide, okay, let's see, left Weathertop at dawn, headed north. Halmir guides us, chose to keep the weather hills to our right. After 3 days, Holly made us change course as she found a good path. Tracked her and westward across the lone turned westward, heading toward North Downs, our destination Fornost. After 3 more days, we ran out of provisions, and Falco spent a full day pursuing a boar that he thought was close by. Luckily, the ruins of Fornost were already in sight. So yeah, that's a nice little summation of about a week's travel. But you get the idea of, okay, but yeah, okay, so, and here's how here's the yada yada-ing, and we have events. We have event 1, event 2. That'd be the shortcut, and the hunting, and the mishap hunting. So, let's see. The company leaves. Guide makes a marching test, which is a travel roll, depending on the summer. I think it can also depend. Maybe. Okay. Well. All right. Summer and let's see. If the roll fails, it's 2 hexes long if it's in spring or summer, and only 1 hex if it's in autumn or winter. And I think like 1 hex is about a day's journey. Let me see, page 110. Let's see. If travel will succeed. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 1 hex is 20 miles. All right. 1 hex is 20 miles. That's. I'm gonna say that's probably about a day's worth of travel on foot. So yeah. If you fail the travel test, you run into your first thing after a day. If you fail it during summer and spring and summer, it's like 2 days in. If you succeed, it's 3 days or 3 hexes in plus another for every success you roll. Basically, the better you roll on the travel test, the fewer things you're going to run into, the fewer potential issues you're going to have. Okay, and okay, event resolution. Okay, well, we'll get to that in a bit. Find precise spot, count the appropriate number of hexes, start position, figure out where it takes place, if it's resolve the event, make another marching test, continue. Journey goes on until we repeat until marching test, resolve issue until they finally reach their party finally reaches their destination. Journey ends with the company reaches intended destination. The players take part in a new scene or an unexpected occurrence and engage the company in a different activity for an amount of time. So basically, you do travel until you either get to where you're going or you get sidetracked. Your recorded fatigue points on the journey sheet cannot be shaken off until the journey lasts, and the journey reduce your total fatigue by your vigor rating. Then you can make a successful travel roll to reduce it by 1 + 1 for every extra success. And the journey lore master players want to know precisely how long the company's been traveling. Region map. Obviously, you can also do a forced march, which if a company's traveling on horse, companies 1 day for every hex suggesting heart. Let's see. So traveling, check region map and count the number of hexes, the company's journey path, adding 1 for every hex suggesting hard terrain like hills, woods, marshes, resulting in total length of journey. So yeah, 1 hex is roughly a day's worth of travel. Because 20 miles comes out to like, let me see, 20 miles comes out to about 6.5, 7-ish hours of travel. So that's on foot. Traveling on horseback, you can have the result. Okay, the number of days traveled. Okay, cool. Lord Master, consider riding is normally possible only along roads and good paths. Yeah. You could obviously go on with journey with more hours every day than would normally. Company undertakes a forced march. Count 1 day for every 2 hexes instead of 1, but each player accumulates 1 extra fatigue. So bit of a risk there if you want to get there faster, but you'll be more tired at the end. Okay. I don't think we're going to be able to get into fellowship phase with this, but hey, we'll try and... Yeah, okay. We'll wrap up journey event. Journey and how to resolve events. Okay, so yeah. When you roll an event... Oh, actually, real quick, let's take a look at this art. That's a nice picture of a dragon. That's a decent dragon. All right. Obviously, yeah. Lore Master could just obviously you can just roll who's it gonna be, who's it gonna deal with, and what skill are they gonna use. It's obviously not going to happen to the guide because the guide is just kind of deciding where we go. You roll a feat die to determine what kind of stuff you're doing. Just, you know. Okay. Select targets, determine in the event if it. Okay, here we go. Just. You know, it's okay. Pick who's gonna roll. This is the skill they're gonna use because it's the skill associated with their job. And if they fail, here's what's gonna happen. So yeah, determine nature of the event. This is where, you know, where it's happening, because the Lore Master map is color coded. Borderlands are pretty nice, so you know you make it with a favored roll, so higher is better. And this is not necessarily, well, shortcut roll succeeds, reduce the length. Yeah, okay, so it's not all bad. It's just like, okay, here's a thing that happens. Chance meeting. If the roll succeeds, no fatigue is gained. The Lore Master improvises an encounter favoring the company. You know, higher is obviously better. So yeah, Borderlands, you're more likely to get a good thing. You might still gain some fatigue, but we'll see. Wildlands, this is where things are maybe not so nice, but it's not really super dangerous. Just rolls is a straight roll. If it's in a dark land, which is like the really nasty parts, it is ill-favored. Again, let me flip to the end where you can see some areas. So like, yeah, the green is in the Borderlands. So like, Linden and the Shire are pretty nice. The yellow is the wildlands, so you know the bulk of our North Carolina, you know, just the bulk of areas that aren't particularly just kind of big open space is, and the kind of dark orange stuff are Darklands, which include, okay, like the eastern slopes of the Blue Mountains, which is a little crazy. You know, ruins around Anuminas, the Weather Hills in the North Downs, the Barrow Downs, obviously the old forest, the South Downs, pretty much a whole chunk of stuff along the edges of the Misty Mountains, except around Rivendell, but Rivendell's not a lot, only marginally better. And obviously these areas that are, the areas outlined in red are perilous areas where it's like, this is the really bad places. Like, you know, see the Midgewater marshes, the Barrow Downs, the troll Shaws. You get the idea. So, but once we've decided who's doing what are they going to do? What type of event is it? Roll result, check journey event table on page 112. All entries detail the type of occurrence. Each event features a unique effect that must be resolved with a skill roll made by player hero. All events additionally cause everyone in the company to gain an amount of fatigue. So, even a shortcut, yeah, you reduce the length of the journey, but you're still going to be tired afterwards. And obviously, resolve the event. Resolve player hero selected. Make the roll using the skill indicated skill. Someone else rolling the same roll can obviously support that and give them an extra die. I think it is whatever. If it takes place on a hex suggesting hard terrain, make it lose a die. Oof. Each entry specifies what happens in game terms based on whether skill roll fails or succeeds. Consequences including target. It concerns player hero, etc., etc. And just hey, here's an example. So let's see. Terrible misfortune. Something went so badly. The company is trudging wearily, and target of the event risked being seriously harmed. Hunters were injured when prey proved too dangerous. Scouts suffered harm from extreme cold. Lookout fell from a tree while standing watch, etc. Despair, ill choices, mishap, some adversity caused the company to slow its pace. Shortcuts. Successful roll on the target allowed the company to progress faster. Chance meeting. Players encounter someone who provides useful current circumstances. Might be nothing more than a fortuitous encounter. Another traveler. Friendly denizen traveling the region, providing with food, water, You get the idea. Joyful sight. Yeah. And we kind of close out with a bit of a mixed sight there, because this is it's the ruins of some Arnorian building with some nasty critter inside. Okay, so our last bit is the fellowship phase. We are definitely not going to be getting through. Let's see, 117, 125. I doubt we'll be able to get through all of this. Okay, maybe we can. Okay, let's power through. We'll power through and get through the fellowship phase. All right, we'll power through a little bit, go a little long. I think I'm assuming this is supposed to be Lake Town, which is okay, neat. All right. So, yeah. So the fellowship phase is what happens after you finish the journey. Finish your adventure. Or you come home. All right. So, obviously, again, basic stuff. Duration, pick a destination, do your stuff, do some undertake, perform various updates to update your stuff, and do any sort of downtimey type things. Fellowship phase marks the conclusion of each adventuring phase. Ideally takes place at the end of a session. Otherwise, could open a new session and proceed the next adventuring phase. Give players a break from adventuring. Fellowship phase should last a minimum of at least a week, if up to an entire season. Yeah. Only longest fellowship phase is taken during the midwinter festivities, which qualifies as Yule, as they call it. Once determined, decide where you're going to spend it. They stop safe haven And spend phase as a group unless it's year's end. Obviously, go anywhere visited so far. Required to reach chosen journey required to reach it is considered to take place behind the scenes because, yeah, we're not gonna. Places like Bria Rivendell are the ultimate safe havens, etc., etc. You get your updates. Spend skill points to develop your skill ratings. So, yeah, again, for experience point. During fellowship phase, players can buy a maximum of 1 rank in each skill. Okay, so you can't get a lot better at anything, but you can get a little better. Let's see. Experience points improve player here. Skills comment. Acquire new Valor and Wisdom ranks. Spend points to buy new ranks in Wisdom or Valor. Can acquire a max of 1 rank in each combat proficiency. Also buy a rank in either Wisdom or Valor, but not both. Can buy a rank in combat proficiency, Valor, or Wisdom if they have enough points to attain new ratings. Okay. Spiritual recovery. During fellowship, all automatically recover a number of hope points equal to their heart score. And recover all of them at Yule. So at the end of a year, you get all your hope back. Okay, it's a new year. Yay. The possibilities, the hopes of whatever. Adventure phase results in what positive outcome in the fight against the encroaching shadow. Remove a number of shadow points. Weigh the actions. Okay, yeah. Company's actions were considered at least marginally interfered with in return of the shadow. Remove 1 shadow point if considered to have actively hindered or damaged the enemy. Remove up to 2 points. Committed feats that would gain the attention of the Dark Lord himself, or at least one of his major servants. Remove up to 3 shadow points. So, risk reward. You're standing up against the shadow. You're standing up against Sauron and his machinations, but like you get more. You remove shadow points for successfully doing that, but you're also risking attention. And undertakings, you have a number of activities, or if it's Yule, end of the year. One of every 3 fellowship phases, winter comes, takes in. Recover all hope, earn a number of bonus skill points equal to your wits rating. In addition to amount total accumulated during adventuring phase. What is update company on changes taking place in the world player heroes should know about. Oh, okay. Right, yeah. Right. And here's things you can do during your fellowship phase. Gather rumor to learn some new things that could be interesting. Story about an individual, place, or coming event, potentially significantly something that company can explore. So, okay, so yeah, gather rumors is give me hooks for new things to do. A company, including a warden, can choose this activity for free. Okay. Heal scars. This is chooses undertaking focused on mending your spiritual injuries. 5 adventure points to remove 1 shadow scar. Oof. Meet with your patron. Work with player, set up an encounter. Reason. Chooses undertaking meet with company friend, allies, spending fellowship phase. Location where. Meet with your meet with the patron. Ponder story. Okay. Well, feat die rolls may determine nature of events during the event resolution step. Okay. Look at maps and stuff. Ponder map, store, eat, and figured map. Oops. Uh-huh. We have raise in air. Obviously, we've sort of recovered that earlier. Recount a story. Choose this to replace one of your distinctive features with a new trait. Strengthen fellowship. Raise fellowship rated by +1 until the next fellowship phase. Study a magical item. Ooh. Learn all there is to discover about qualities of marvelous artifacts and wondrous items the company possess. Write a song. Okay. What does this do? Creates a short narrative poem particularly appropriate to narrative heroic deeds, meant to be recited or sung at gatherings. Okay. So sure, write a song to potentially give you a bonus to doing different things. Okay, sure. All right. Okay. Sure. So that's some stuff you can do during your downtime. We're not going to go any further because this is getting into lore master stuff. All right. Oops, that's not what I probably shouldn't have done that. We'll go back to here instead. Apologies. So yeah, we're not going to look into the lore master stuff. It's if you're interested in running this game, obviously by this point you probably got decided that this should probably be enough. I will try to be back. Yeah, I next time we're gonna actually go through character creation and probably do a bit of combat. I don't know if we'll be doing a full demo of like putting all this stuff together, but that's that's the plan unless something happens. Yeah. So come back for we'll cap this off. It's I'm kind of liking that. There's a lot to be said about this system, and we'll show it off a bit, I guess. Anyway, I have been Sean, librarian, writer, geek, wizard in training of a sort, no mere conjurer of cheap tricks, etc., etc. Again, if you are enjoying this stuff, like, comment, and follow, librarian, writer, geek, Twitch, and YouTube, who do all the stuff in the places. Maybe also watch some of my other videos as well, streams as well. The other stuff, if you're watching this on YouTube, watch some of the other things. I do put such time and effort into playing these games and recording them and trying to have a good time. And it would be nice if more people watch those as well. Sorry. Anyway, I will see y'all next time. If you're going out and doing stuff, especially if you're in the US, I hope you have a lovely 4th of July weekend. Otherwise, just in general, stay hydrated. Try not to spend too much time. Try to stay indoors as much as possible. Try to keep cool, etc. And otherwise, just have a good one. Bye.